Welcome back to GMs for Hire. I'm Matthew Perry alongside the rest of the gang. We got Will, RJ, and Jamil with us today. We are back for the Week 8 predictions of the NFL season. We'll go right into it. A little update on the standings. Jamil is still our top dog. It has a record of 70, 35, and 1. He had a great week last week, went 11 and 3. Props to him. Will, a game up on me. Will's in second place. Only 2 games out of first place. He's 68, 37, and 1. Last week, he went 9 and 5. I also went 9 and 5. I am 3 games back from the leader, Jamil. And RJ had a pretty good week last week, went 10 and 4, overall 64, 41, and 1, coming up the rear, only 6 games back.
A long season.
Yeah.
Long season indeed.
RJ showed a lot of promise, so we'll see where it goes from there. Teams that we won't be covering, the teams on bye. I know these are plenty of exciting ones. The Washington football team, the Jaguars, the Texans. We're going to miss not being able to talk about them. And then, of course, the Arizona Cardinals, who might actually get mentioned in this. But we'll get right into it with the games that we differ on, or at least somebody does. We'll start with the Thursday night game. The 1-6 Falcons are in North Carolina, to take on the Panthers. They're 3 and 4. Myself, RJ, and Will all went with the Falcons. Jamil went with the Panthers. Jamil, let's get your
What?
Oh, man.
Jamil,
Day.
let's get your
How
thoughts.
many times we have to do this? Every week we do this. I tell you the Panthers aren't that bad. You say we're gonna get Trevor Lawrence. I say you're crazy. You say no, you're not. It's every week thing. Let's just get it over with now.
Oh.
Y'all really pick the Falcons? Do you not see they make new ways to lose every single week?
It's about time to find a new way to win.
I told y'all like week 2, I'm not picking them to win another game.
And you weren't kidding,
Man.
apparently.
Go Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater, take us home.
All right.
God,
we'll
I'm
go.
gonna throw up.
We'll go to. It's fitting. We'll go to RJ. So RJ, why the Falcons?
Honestly, I thought I was going to be alone on this one. Why did y'all pick? Okay, I think we all know why I picked the Falcons. Why did y'all pick the Falcons? I thought I was by myself. I'm trying to catch up.
They stink.
Dan Quinn is gone. It's a new era. Who knows?
Did you not see the game versus the Lions? This man, no. I gotta say this real quick. The mic'd up came out. This man, Matt Ryan, said, "Hey, get the first down and get down." He said, "Okay." Next thing you know, he's scoring.
All right.
Bro.
So Todd Gurley's not exactly the best at just laying down, but like the fact of the matter is that the Falcons had that game if it wasn't for that stupid mistake.
They've had all the games.
Yeah, but I mean, ever since Dan Quinn's been gone, they're at least in games, or they're at least winning games.
They were in all the games. They blew all the games.
Well, I tell you what, they're actually staying in it more than normal. They're not actually just blowing monumental leads. They're just blowing tiny leads at this point, And it's just one of those things. To me, it was a toss-up. To me, I mean, the Panthers are good, but again, the offense of the Falcons is just so good, and I know they can blow up at any point. The fact that they can't even stop themselves from scoring should tell you what kind of offense they are. So I'm going with the Falcons for that point.
Listen. We are back to our losing ways. 3 and 13
Okay, here this guy
still
goes
on
again.
the table.
Look, man.
All right.
Look, man. Give it a rest. It's not possible.
We're
Give
gonna
it a
move
rest.
on.
It's not possible to get Trevor Lawrence.
We're gonna move
Focus
on.
on Trey Lance. Focus on Zach Wilson.
Oh my God! Don't ever say that again.
Don't
Moving on.
focus on Trevor Lawrence because it's just not going to happen.
Moving on to the Sunday games where we differ, starting at the 1 o'clock hour. I'm gonna have to defend myself a little bit here. The Indianapolis Colts are in Detroit to take on the Lions. Jamil, RJ, and Will all went with the Colts. I went with the Lions. We'll go with Will for the Colts. Why the Colts?
Colts are coming off of a bye. They're going to be well rested. I think it's about time for something to get going in the offensive side of the ball. The defense has been absolutely electric so far this season. I think the defense has been playing above standards for the Colts, and I don't see a team like the Lions being able to compete against that defense. They've shut out a couple of decent teams, and I can't imagine that they wouldn't continue to play well defensively. They've done very well against bad offenses, such as the Bears and the Vikings. And I mean, the Lions are not a bad offense, but they're not up there for the top of the league. So because of that reason, I'm going to go with the Colts.
RJ, Jamil, anything to add?
I almost picked Detroit. Honestly, I don't like Indianapolis's offense at all. Phillip Rivers, it's time to go, bud. You had a good run. It's time to go. Jonathan Taylor's good. I don't like their receivers. I don't like their tight ends. If I could relate this to, I like their offensive line and I like their running back. They would be a perfect Big Ten team. They'd be perfect in the Big Ten.
Well, Philip Rivers has to stay in the NFL. Philip Rivers has to stay in the NFL because he's only made enough money to send about 6 of those kids through college. He's got about 4 more to go.
That's true. If he retires, he might get up to 15 kids.
Can you imagine?
But for the Lions, I picked the Lions just because, like RJ said, I'm not very content with their offense either. I think Philip Rivers is well past his prime, and he just doesn't get it done for me. I'm a big T.Y. Hilton guy. I've always been a big supporter of him when it comes to the receiving corps in Indianapolis, but I don't know. I've never been content with how they use him. I feel like he could still get more reps. I don't know. Like you said, RJ, Jonathan Taylor is very good, but I do trust the Lions offense more at this point. I think Matthew Stafford and Kenny Golladay are becoming quite a dynamic duo. And it seems game by game, Golladay becomes a better receiver. I think he's growing into a young star in the league, slowly but surely. So due to the offensive power of each team, I got to give the advantage to the Lions. And yeah, hopefully I'm not wrong, because that could definitely cost me in the standings. Speaking of costing in the standings, we go to the Raiders taking on the Cleveland Browns. Another guy all on his lonesome, Will taking the Raiders, and Jamil, RJ, and I all taking Cleveland. Will, let's hear it. Why the Raiders?
Well, there's always one game, so why not this one? The Cleveland Browns are a very explosive offense. They just unfortunately lost Odell Beckham Jr. for the rest of the season. That's going to hurt them quite a bit. Not to say that their offense still isn't dynamic. Kareem Hunt's been absolutely outstanding from a running back standpoint, one of the better ones in the league so far this year. But the Raiders have been that shockingly good team. They've played very decent, and I think they have the ability. They've kind of upset a couple of teams so far this season. I don't see why they couldn't pull this one out against Cleveland. Is there an actual 100% reason as to why I went with the Raiders? No, but it's one of those games that I could see going a different direction. I mean, Josh Jacobs has been absolutely phenomenal. You want to talk about great running back so far this season. Derek Carr has been playing above average. That defense, for some reason, has been playing above average, or at least not above average, but at least above expectations. I think with the damper of losing Odell Beckham Jr. will kind of put not a halt, but it'll definitely bring down the offensive production of Cleveland a little bit. And because of that, I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Jamil, thoughts on the Browns?
I actually don't hate that pick by Will, but I think the Browns are just going to be too good at running the ball. The Raiders aren't the best at stopping the run. I think Kareem Hunt's going to have a great day, and I actually don't think the Odell Beckham injury really hurts this Browns offense as much as some might think. I think that with Odell Beckham out there, sometimes they decide to force the ball towards Odell Beckham and try to get him more involved. I think this will open up the offense. Guys like Rashard Higgins, rookie Donovan Peoples-Jones, it's going to open up opportunities for them to get the ball a little bit more. I think the offense will have more of a flow to it, and when they get Nick Chubb back, I still think this team is going to be a playoff team based on their schedule.
Yep.
Moving to our last game of the 1 o'clock hour, I've actually looking at this, it's a common theme. Everyone's on their own island with games this week. We moved to Baltimore, where the Pittsburgh Steelers will head into Raven territory to take on the Ravens. RJ, you're all alone with the Ravens. I don't blame you for this one, but let's hear your reasoning behind it.
Wow. Well, all right. Well, Jamil hates the Atlanta Falcons. I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think I've picked them once. I'm going to keep going against them. Listen, Pittsburgh has started out, they're the last undefeated team in the league. I get it. Congratulations. We don't hand out championships in October, though. The league MVP plays in purple still, right? He's still the league MVP, right? Until someone wins it this year, he is still the league MVP. And as far as Lamar Jackson, as long as Lamar Jackson's on the field and they keep running the ball and doing what they're doing, their defense is disgusting. Come on. I still like Baltimore. And this is a big time rivalry game. I'm glad that Pittsburgh is good this year, because now we're going to get this rivalry back. All of us are around the same age, and we grew up with those just box office Ravens Steelers games with Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Troy Polamalu, Big Ben was still there, Joe Flacco. I mean, you had just fantastic games. The two defenses, I mean, you could not miss it. It was always a Sunday night game. They played each other in the playoffs a couple times, I think. This was the best rivalry in the NFL, period, just a few years ago. And so I'm glad that Pittsburgh is off to this hot start. But Pittsburgh is a very good team, but I still can't buy into them. And I don't know what it is. I like their defense. I just think their offense is just good enough. And if Lamar has an MVP day, Big Ben does not have enough in the tank to keep up with that young buck. So I'm still going with the Ravens. I still think they're a more complete team. I think offensively they're better. I think the best player on the field plays for Baltimore, and it's in Baltimore.
Will, do you think the Steelers will be able to neutralize Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, ultimately. Neutralize, I guess neutralize maybe not. I don't know if that's necessarily the right word, but I've been the one guy who's been big on the Steelers all season. If you go back and look at our predictions video, you three picked the Ravens to win the division, and I was the lone person to pick the Steelers. Look, if you want to talk about great defenses, if this defense was great enough to carry Duck Hodges to an 8-8 record, this defense can stop a couple of plays from Lamar Jackson. So so far, having Big Ben back has been already proven to be a grace of God for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 6-0 so far this season. Why not make it another? I've been riding the Pittsburgh Steelers hype train since before the season started. I have no reason to get off of it now. So why not go with Pittsburgh? I don't see why the defense can't contain them. As RJ mentioned, it's two great defenses. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Baltimore Ravens are who they are. They are the reason. They have got plenty of reasons to be good, but so do the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's going to be one of the more entertaining games this week. It's going to come down to one stop or maybe one big play, but ultimately I think the Steelers are going to get that play as opposed to the Ravens.
Moving to the 4:00 hour of our Sunday, and I'm back all alone and actually defending Will's Bears against the Saints. I am the only one that picked the Bears. First, we'll go with Jamil, though. Jamil, why'd you pick the Saints?
Because the Bears have no offense. It's extinct. It's hibernating like Bears do. It's hibernating. They have no offense. It's gone. Nick Foles stinks. Their receivers are average. They have one running back. They can't score. And that's why I don't think the Bears will win. It's like I said in our chat before the game on Monday, I said the Bears are average to me because they can't score. And until they start scoring, they're not going to win games. And the Saints have a high-powered offense that will be able to put points up, even though the Bears defense is elite. If the Saints get 24 points, can the Bears get 20 points? I don't think so.
You make fair points, but you know what they say, defense wins championships. It's not a championship game, but this could wind up being the NFC championship game in the future. Who knows?
Pause.
No pause. I'm confident. Listen, I watched Will's video.
Is Chicago getting Trevor Lawrence?
Not yet, but they could trade up. We don't know. I told Will the other day, I said they should trade Khalil Mack for it, but that was a joke, maybe.
But
yeah, besides the point. First, everyone go watch Will's new video. He goes over the entire Bears offense and kind of shits on them. They've been bad, we know.
Kinda.
But listen, defense wins championships. I believe in the Bears defense. This is not the same Drew Brees of past seasons. I know it's still Drew Brees and he still gets the job done most times, but it's not the same Drew Brees. You got to trust the Bears defense. Now, I do think this is going to be a close game. I'm not expecting a blowout on either side. The Bears offense will probably struggle, and that's something that Bears fans like Will and anyone that's watched a Bears game this year is getting used to. It's just something that is part of life for them at this point until Matt Nagy's out of the play calling seat, or maybe a new quarterback, something like that. Listen, I need to bear down on this pick. Bear down. I am cool with it. I don't care. I hope I get the upset. I hope I do.
The next game,
but,
man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you being one game behind me and going with this one. That way, I know I have at least one safe.
Yeah, this just helps me out. Big dog stay on top this way, baby. Big dog stay on top.
Will, that's fine because you'll probably blow this one. Here, Will is all alone. Our final game we disagree on. Will is all alone as the 49ers head to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Will, we'll go straight to you.
Seattle doesn't impress me. The defense, other than the offense, the defense doesn't impress me. Similar to what Jamil said last week, that defense couldn't stop anything. Similar to the Bears' offensive line. Another plug to that video. I have no reason to believe that the 49ers defense can't hold off Russell Wilson enough times for the offense to make something happen. Because, as mentioned, we all know Seattle's not going to do much on the defensive side of the ball. Why not the 49ers? You know, they've been in some rough health situations so far this season. They've seen a lot of injuries, but I don't see why not. That whole entire division is super competitive. Nobody is out of it. I wouldn't be shocked to see 3 of those teams go into the postseason. And I think this is going to be a very big game to determine who's going to be going. I don't see why the Seahawks have been in a lot of close games already this season. They lost to the Cardinals last week. They almost blew it the week before. Why not continue the close game streak, go with the San Francisco 49ers, just kind of hoping that San Fran's going to find a way to pull it out.
Russell Wilson. All right, RJ, let's get your thoughts on the
Seattle's defense.
Yeah,
RJ?
I mean, Russell Wilson. That's what it is. One team's got Russell Wilson and one team's got Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't like Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think he's any good, honestly. I just really don't think he's a competent quarterback. I think that guy he is the definition of a game manager. I think if you look up game manager in the dictionary, there's going to be a picture of Kirk Cousins holding a picture of Jimmy Garoppolo. The guy's just, yeah, he's just there. He's not going to make a play to beat Russell Wilson on a big stage. It's just not going to happen.
Got to get Photoshop going for that picture of Kirk Cousins holding a picture of Jimmy Garoppolo. But we'll move to the games we all agree on. This shouldn't take too long. Most of them are pretty straightforward. Heading to the 1:00 hour on Sunday. I'm going to let Jamil do this one just because we all know what season it is. The 5-2
Is it
Rams,
golf season?
The 5-2 Rams are heading to Miami to take on the Dolphins.
Well,
Good night,
I hate to
Have a
say
good
it to you. Golf season is alive and well. The Rams are rolling. They're not rolling. They're winning. They took your team out last week. He looks like he looks like he's found out how to play quarterback again. And the Rams look like a pretty decent team right now. So they're going to keep that train rolling to Miami. Tua's first start. That's something to watch out for. I think Aaron Donald's going to welcome him to the NFL a couple different times.
All eyes on Tua.
I was that close. Jamil, it is Tua time, baby. I was that close.
Welcome back, Will.
Go Rams.
Well, you missed it. It's golf season. We just talked about
him.
Nah, it's Tua time.
Okay.
Welcome back, Will. I'm going to need you on this one. The 0-7 Jets are heading to KC in search of their first win to take on the Chiefs. Will, I'll get your thoughts.
No, I want RJ's thoughts.
Okay, you're pointing at me on mine, but
I'm pointing to RJ on mine. I want RJ's thoughts.
Man, I saw this game and I actually started laughing. I think it's the Jets. Listen. They went up 10-0 on Buffalo last week, and I was so happy. I was like, "Oh, here we go. Let's go. Pull it off. Pull off the upset." And nope. The Jets found a way to jet. They always do. And honestly, did you see this week Trevor Lawrence might not come out in the draft?
He's coming out. Yeah. There's no way.
I'm just saying.
He said anything could happen.
What he said, listen, what Trevor Lawrence said, anything can happen.
He is not saying
if the Jets get the number 1 pick, come on, you have to make a business decision at that point.
He'll just ask to get traded like Eli and Elway. He's not staying in school.
I agree. No, I agree. And Carolina, you don't need your
okay, we're not next game.
All right. Moving on. Will, I'll go to you for this one since they're your in-division rivals. We have the 1-5 Vikings taking on the 5-1 Packers.
I think he's going to pick the Vikings. I think he's going to switch his pick. If you like the Texans, are the Vikings that much worse than the Texans? Come on, man. Pick the Vikings.
There's a big difference.
Pick the Vikings.
There's a big difference between the Texans and the Vikings.
No.
And it's Deshaun Watson and Kirk Cousins.
They have Dalvin Cook.
I don't care who they have.
He will be
Pick
back
him.
this weekend. That is
Come on,
confirmed.
man, pick him.
I don't care who the hell your running back is. I don't care who anybody is. It's Kirk Cousins. You want, as mentioned, Jimmy Garoppolo holding that picture of Kirk Cousins in this scenario. I mean, they're just hugging each other and just like looking into a mirror. It's god awful, but
it's the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other.
yeah, right.
That's
it's
Kirk
disgusting.
Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Kirk Cousins is abysmal by far. Unfortunately, even as a Bears fan, by far the worst quarterback in that division. And there's no reason why the Packers don't win this game. I'd be absolutely stunned if it was even close.
I have a question for you three? All three of you. All three of y'all.
Go for it.
Could Jordan Love win this game for the Packers?
Yes.
If Aaron Rodgers didn't play and it was Jordan Love, would you pick the Packers to beat the Vikings?
100%.
I think it'd be close, if
I
anything.
think the Vikings.
I would still.
I don't know.
I would still.
It would be really close.
Despite the record, I don't think the Vikings are that bad of a team.
Yeah, this is a total shocker for me because
I don't know what happened to them, but I'm telling you, they lost Kevin Stefanski, and now their offense is lost.
Yeah, their roster is good.
Everything they had disappeared. It's really weird what happened to them. I hope they find their groove again. But I'm gonna take this next one just because it's the Titans. The Titans taking on the Bengals. I do it every week. I'm a big Titans guy. At least when it comes to the pick'ems. Like, I think I picked them every week.
You have for a fact.
Yeah, the Bengals just don't have what it takes to add to how bad they already are. They traded Carlos Dunlap today to the Seahawks, so the defense gets even worse.
Surprised Will didn't pick the Bengals' favorite team too. This is you and him should have went at it here.
Hey,
my Bengals almost upset those Browns last week, huh?
I'm a big Joe Burrow guy too, but they're not gonna have any chance against the Titans. I think the Titans win this one pretty big. Okay, I'll ask you guys this though: over under 4.5 sacks for Burrow. Like
anytime Burrow is standing behind that offensive line, I'm always gonna go with the over.
Over.
Fair points, Jamil.
Probably the over. Actually, I'm gonna take a push.
It's gonna be exactly 4.5 sacks.
It was 4.5.
That's impressive. I don't know how that's going to work.
Oh, because you can get half sacks.
You get half sacks.
I forgot about that.
Well, the team can't get a half sack.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're talking about the team.
Yeah, give me the over then.
Okay.
You're right. I'm tripping.
And I just tripped with him. We tripped over the same thing. Okay, that's fine.
What is happening?
Moving on. The Patriots and the Bills, definitely a different Patriots team than we're known as seeing. Jamil, I'll go straight back to you with your thoughts on this one.
The Patriots are struggling. Cam Newton, he's struggling. They have no receivers. The running backs are falling apart with injuries. They're talking about trading Stephon Diggs. Give me the Bills. Josh Allen will do just enough to get this team some offense, and their defense will be able to stop Cam Newton and the non-existent receivers that are on the Patriots roster.
Fair. And then moving to the Monday night game, we have the Buccaneers taking on the Giants. A lot of good players to just a couple. RJ, based on your facial expression, I'll go straight to you.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly. It should be, at least. Listen, the Tampa Bay Bucks are the most complete team in the National Football League. I don't think anybody in the entire league is more complete than the Bucks. And I know the offensive line is not great, but Tom Brady is smart enough. He knows he's got to get that ball out quick, and you can kind of neutralize having a bad offensive line. It's kind of like having a mobile quarterback. You know, back when Cam was running on the Panthers, we didn't have a good offensive line, but we knew number one could just take it and, make up for it. Brady knows that. Their defense is playing so good. Their front seven is disgusting. They have the best linebacker duo in the league, and I think that duo of Devin White and Levante David, they're going to be the best duo of linebackers in the league for the next 5 or 6 years. I just saw a list from Pro Football Focus. The Tampa Bay Bucks have 2 of the top 13 best cornerbacks in the league, according to them. Guys that no one had a lot of faith in, but they're balling. Come on, everybody knows about the receivers. Gronk's finally getting going. Leonard Fournette looks like he's finally getting healthy. Rojo's been playing well. Come on, this isn't hard.
I apologize. My Zoom call froze, so I went out of order. That's the Monday night game. I missed 2 of them. two other games. The 4:00 game on Sunday between the Chargers and the Broncos. All of us went with the Chargers. Will, why LA?
Justin Herbert. That's why. Justin Herbert's been playing absolutely out of his mind, coming up on a point to where he may be even threatening Joe Burrow for Rookie of the Year. His stats have been absolutely outstanding, been playing out of his mind, giving the Chargers at least a little bit of hope, something Tyrod Taylor was not giving him at the beginning of the season. So, yeah, cut and dry. I don't see a way in which the Broncos offense is going to be able to be there. I love Drew Lock. I love Justin Herbert. But ultimately, at the end of the day, one of them has showed me why I like them, and the other one so far hasn't this season. So I'm going to go with the Chargers.
And then finally, what might be, I won't call it the least watched Sunday night game just because it has America's team in it. The Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. I know I won't be tuning in for this one unless I plan on going to bed real early. We all went with the Eagles. It's like choosing two bad, out-of-date foods to eat for dinner. But Jamil will get you on this one.
One's a dumpster fire with more fire on top of fire, and one's just a dumpster fire. The Cowboys look horrible. If Ben Gaducci starts, they're going to lose by double digits. Well, if the Eagles keep and score double digits. And the Eagles are actually starting to get healthier. They're getting Jalen Reagor back this week. Dallas Goedert could be back this week. So the more pieces they get back, and Miles Sanders plays too, it's just going to be a bad night for the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion.
This game's going to determine which team goes 6-10 and hosts that playoff game.
That's the craziest
give me the
part
Redskins
of it.
over the Cowboys.
Oh my God!
Don't sleep on Washington.
That football
Don't
team's
sleep.
coming up.
Give me the football team
football
over the
team's
Cowboys.
I would need to do further research, but off the top of your heads, is this the worst division as a whole that you guys can remember in recent years?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, this is really bad. A few years ago, when the Carolina Panthers didn't win a game for an entire month and still won the division at 7-8-1, the NFC South was hands down better than this NFC East division. This is trash.
I would take the 0-16 Lions to go 8-8 in this division if they only played this division alone.
Yeah.
I could still see them going 8-8. The Jets would still go 0-16.
If the Jets played every game against the division, would they win a game?
No.
Yes.
Still no.
Oh, yes, they would. They could beat the Eagles or something.
I mean, they did beat the Cowboys last year, so.
So much has changed. They
You're
can
right,
beat the
the Cowboys
Cowboys
got
now.
worse.
Ben, whoever the fuck's going to be at the quarterback, so why not?
Ben DiNucci.
Whatever.
The
Dak
pride of
Prescott
James
doesn't.
Madison
Madison.
University.
Dak
Yeah, don't do
Prescott
that.
doesn't have a leg, and the
Madison.
Cowboys.
That boy
don't
led
even
them to some championship games now. Don't do that.
That's right.
Once here.
James Madison slaps, boy.
Amen.
All right.
What can you do?
Well, that's all we have for the Week 8 predictions. It should be an exciting week. It's still a pretty close race in the standings. And since a lot of
dogs
people,
on top.
Big
That's all I
dogs,
gotta say.
Big Dog Jamil's still on top. And since we have a lot of guys on our own island this week, we could see a lot of movement. And it'll be an exciting Week 9. But for now, I've been Matthew Perry. That's Will Polston. Where are you at? Here?
I'm right here
Here?
in this box.
Jamil is under me, and
He's in
RJ
that
is
box.
diagonal to me.
Pause. Pause.
Any final words before we
What
head off
happened?
on our own?
Yeah, I just want to know why Jamil's underneath Matt right now.
Yeah,
Hey, I mean,
nice.
I'm just getting ready for after the episode. You know what I'm saying?
Hey-o.
No, but
Hot.
I have a final question for all of you.
Oh God, what?
Is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer?
Next episode.
All right. We'll see you guys next time for the Week 8 predictions. GMs for Hire. We'll see you next week. See ya.